Okay, so I've seen people do this before. I don't even know if the sound will come out right because I have my headphones in. Also embarrassed because I'm carrying my phone in a weird way while I'm walking. But just thought I would put it out there. My name is Gabby. Always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and people are staring at me. But anyway, never knew what I wanted to start about. Quick about me. Grew up in Westchester, went to college in Plattsburgh. Right before going to college, I did a Disney college program. So I worked in Animal Kingdom at Restaurantosaurus for a semester. Then I went back to school and decided after school, I studied radio and television and decided I want to go back to Disney. So I graduated, did a second college program in Orlando, and I worked in transportation as a bus greeter at the resorts. I'll do another video in the future about like all my jobs and stuff like that. Then after that, I moved back to New York because thanks to the college program, and this is what I advise people a lot, thanks to the college program, I got an internship with ABC for The View. So I had to move back up to New York for the New York to Florida, fifth time to go do the internship at ABC. And to be fair, I mean, like, that's what I thought I wanted to do. Like, radio and television was my thing, whatever. After realizing that the city wasn't for me, I decided I want to go back to Disney again. Moved back down to Florida, worked at Disney, tried to do lifeguarding. It was a little nerve-wracking. It was very strict, and I was just worried about people getting hurt under my supervision. So I just said, I don't want to do this. And they said, okay. And they switched me to a food and beverage role part-time in Magic Kingdom at Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. So I did that. Sands East at the time. Now they've divided and like there's something else, but I worked at like Gaston's Tavern. I worked at like, I'm turning around because these girls are watching me videotape myself. Worked at Gaston's Tavern, worked at like the ice cream treats place, the mac and cheese place, the lunching pad, like all that jazz. So did that for a semester, not even a semester, like the summer after because the internship was in January of 2016. So then I did like summer and fall, and then in the fall, I got a job offer for a broadcasting company in Orlando, Ivanhoe Broadcast News. And I was like, I should take it. I should really try to be a producer or whatever. So I did that for about 2 years. And again, just like same thing, like had this passion for wanting to go back to Disney. Felt like I was missing something, like felt like it wasn't the job for me. You know, I just felt like if I'm not going to be paid that well in news, why don't I just go do what I want to do? So then I got my fourth job at Disney. I was part-time in attractions, and I worked at Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World. And that was a really fun job. You know, I got to say like, here's some pixie dust to, you know, put your bar down and like that kind of thing. But it was also really bad because like it was spring break and it was so wild. Like there were days when I was literally just holding a sign, guys, in the middle of the walkway that said like, please walk on this side of the road, this side of the street, you know. And people were mean. Like I got yelled at by like several people for the wait times, and I was like, buddy, I get paid like $10.50 an hour. You're talking to the wrong person here about that. So anyway, did that for a month, and I was like also working at a cafe part-time. My sister got me a job closer to my apartment, because I was like 40 minutes away at this point. I lived in Winter Park, and Disney's like 45 minutes from there. So I was doing that part-time, and then coffee part-time, and the manager last minute had like a huge blowout with the owner of the business. She left, and they were looking for someone to take her place. Now my sister was offered the position, but she's younger. She didn't feel comfortable taking it. She wasn't ready to take it. So she suggested me. So that's how I became manager of this coffee shop. Had a great summer. I put a lot of love into that place. Got paid shit, honestly. This man something was up with this guy, okay? He was not doing things by the book. He paid me like 12 or 13 an hour, and then I would work in the kitchen or the front as a barista with my team, my employees, and I would take tips. Like, because I was working next to them, I would also get tips. But I felt like that was wrong. Like, why are you making up for my salary that you're not paying me by me taking tips from my employees who also make like minimum wage? They made a little more than minimum wage, but you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't fair. So slowly throughout the summer, I started losing that like what's it called? Like the drive, and I started butting heads with a girl who worked there, and then I also started butting heads with this like creepy guy who was friends with my owner, and I was like, I don't like him here, I don't want him here when the baristas are here, whatever. Long story short, he didn't listen to me, and he just told the guy not to show up on my days when I was working. So this guy would still show up on the days that I wasn't working, and my baristas were like, I'm uncomfortable with him, I don't like him around. The only person that got along with the guy is the one employee, the girl that I didn't get along with. I tried to get that employee fired. She cried her way out of it, like, just ridiculous. So eventually I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. And I got offered, at that time I was also doing part-time dog walking. So I got offered a position managing a dog walking business for this woman who was great, Casey. So if you ever need a dog walker and a dog sitter in Orlando, Winter Park, she's based in Baldwin Park, Casey cares. It's great. This is not a paid sponsorship. So I worked for Casey a couple months. Again, same thing. That was a lot better. I love that. Like, just got to walk dogs all day and book clients. But I was getting to that age where I needed health insurance, and I was like, she was a small business. I was like, I can't afford the health insurance on the money I'm making. Like, it's not worth it. So started to look at like, how can I go back to work? What can I do? And I got waitlisted for full time at Disney. So finally, it's like November of 2018, and I got invited to. I got offered a full-time position at the Boardwalk Bakery, but it wouldn't start till middle of December. So I left Casey middle of November, took a month off, took Thanksgiving to enjoy with my family, waited 2 weeks. In the meantime, I was applying to a news job in Albany, New York. Now this was like left field, like my boyfriend was coming out of the army, and I thought like maybe I'll go to Albany with him if I could get the job, because a friend of mine, Chrissy, that I went to college with, worked there and whatever. So I applied for the news job, and they hadn't got back to me. And literally my first day at Disney, like my orientation at the Boardwalk Bakery, day one at Disney, I got the call from the manager at News 10, and I got offered the position as news photographer. And I was like, crap, now what do? Do I continue at Disney, where I finally got a full-time position, but this is my 5th time with them? Or like my boyfriend wants to go back to New York. Do I want to, try again, go back to New York? So what I ended up doing was I took the news job. I told my manager at Disney, look, I got this job offer. I'm going to take it. I have to relocate. And she said, we'll let you leave with good standing with Disney, because there's you can't help it. Like, if you gave us 2 weeks, it would literally be to finish your training, and then you'd be pointless. Like, it's no reason. So I got off for Christmas and New Year's. I got to see my boyfriend, packed up all my stuff, and moved up to New York. Moved in with a friend for a couple months, and then I got my own apartment. So I was at the news station for about 10 months, and I got 4 promotions and only 1 pay raise, because they were like working out some kinks in my department, and my boss got fired at some point, and just like all this stuff where I was like, I feel like a body in a chair, and I don't think anyone's like seeing me and my potential. And I got offered a position in sales, RV sales, with this great company in Albany. Albany RV, obviously I can't, it's the only big one here. So anyway, I took the job. It was great. I loved it. Selling RVs. Again, awesome time. Did it for about 6 months until New York shut down. The whole world shut down. Nobody was buying RVs then. So I had to stay home for about 8-9 weeks. I stayed home. And now that we are coming back out of this, I have plans to move back to Florida, back to Orlando. Originally the plan was move back to Orlando, go back to, like, with my company, they have a store in Orlando. I would love to go there. But I haven't heard from my company, and I miss Disney. I really do. This will be, I can't even count it on my hands, like 7th or 8th move back to Florida, between New York and Florida since 2012. And I'm used to it. I've done it a bunch of times, and I've always wanted to make a YouTube channel. So I think I'm gonna start a channel and do some videos on what it's like moving across country, what's the best way to do it, maybe a vlog like how I'm doing it, and maybe even vlog like going back to Disney and how to work at Disney and what's it like working there. So if this is something you're interested in, I'm sorry that I'm and my camera's all over the place. I always record videos and then I go to edit them and I'm like, I look terrible, I'm not gonna post it. And then I never post it. I did a video last week, a 30-minute video about explaining every job I've had at Disney, and then I never finished editing it and never posted it because I was nervous. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment, let me know what you think, what kind of videos you want to see on this channel. Subscribe, obviously, and yeah, we'll see the kind of feedback I get, and I'll start making a list of videos that I could make. And that's all I got. So thanks for watching. Have a good night.